it's me, Rio Bebo here again, and I'm here to do the part 2 of RPGs that I would recommend for the 360. Next on the list is Fable 2. And I know the Fable series gets a lot of hate from people, but I just really enjoy the series. I just love its charming world, its great combat, and pretty much the charming world. The world's so charming, I don't know how to say it. It's like, I say it ranks up charming like RPG worlds with Dragon Quest. I just want to be in that world. Sounds like an awesome world to just live in, do whatever you want. I love the expression system. It improved a lot from the first one. It's a lot more simpler to use, but a lot easier. I wouldn't say yeah, it's simpler and easier to use, and it just allows you to do a lot more things to interact with the world. And also, you could get a child in this game, which you couldn't get with the first one. There's also a real estate system, which you couldn't get in the first one, and the combat is also improved from the first one. So the first one's combat, if you played it back again, it's simple, but it's a bit clunky because you have to switch between sword mode and pretty much archery mode, and then use magic. It was a bit messy. It wasn't like crazy complicated, but it was a bit messy. And Fable 2 really fixed that with like one button for attack, one button for shooting, and one button for magic to do a whole bunch of combos. And I just love the side quests in these games. These side quests are amazing. Like from pretty much like like from saving your child. I love how you could save your child, and I also love like one mission where you had to like help a guy who was sort of confused sexually if he was like gay or straight, which was awkward as it was just awkward as hell side quest. But I just liked how they did that. It was really awesome. I love the moment in the game when you're in the spire. It's part of the main quest when you're in the spire, and it was just my favorite part of the game. Really tested your morality, and just the spire had this like dark and ominous feel. Just a really cool moment to be. It reminded me of when you're in Korriban in like Knights of the Old Republic for some reason. Just brought back good memories about that. And yeah, pretty much Fable 2. Great game. Definitely try. It's really cheap right now. The next game on the list is one you probably never heard about, but I just recommend you just try it out. It's just such a great game, and it's so underrated. If you see reviews, it got like 7. It's not bad by any means, but when I played it, I just loved it. And that game is Divinity 2, the Dragon Knight Saga. Don't get Ego Draconis. That game was buggy as hell and had a lot of balancing issues, but the Dragon Knight Saga improved on it greatly. And what I love about the game world is that it's sort of like Fable, like the look of it is pretty charming. That's what I liked about it. And also the fact that this game is pretty hardcore when you think about it. It's an action RPG, but as like stats actually matter this time. It's not like in Oblivion or Fallout or pretty much even Fable, or like the enemies are pretty much gonna be the same thing no matter what. But in this game, stats actually matter. You can't go to like if you want to go to a new place, you're gonna have to level up, do quests and stuff. And the side quests are actually really good. I liked and I also liked how many nooks and crannies that you could find. Like if you just look some like place you haven't found, you might find a quest like out of nowhere. And and also this game you could turn to a dragon, which is also a great way to find quests. You could just go up on a mountain, just jump down it, and you might be surprised. You might find a new quest. You might find some cool items. That's what I found really awesome about the game, and also the fact that there's also this mind reading game part of the dialogue where you could read a person's mind, but it'll take away some of your experience points. So it's sort of a risk reward factor. And some you could learn some really interesting things, could even unlock a new side quests, great weapons, and it was just a really interesting feature. And the action's fun and all. It was alright. It wasn't the best. It's not like as fun as Fable or maybe even like Skyrim is. I don't think it was as fun as like Skyrim for me. But I also love the battle tower where you can have your own pretty much your own monster, sort of like your own like Pokemon to battle with, and just have your own like you can hire your own workers. You could get like learn new skills, get new weapons, get new potions, and it was just pretty much a great game all around. A lot of content. I got for $40. Came with an art book, as you can see here, and it also came with a original soundtrack, which has around 21 tracks in it. So it was only $40 new. So if you could find it, definitely get it. If you find used, you'll still have a great RPG. The next game on the list is Deus Ex Human Revolution, and this game's a hybrid between first-person shooters and role-playing. And role-playing games like Mass Effect borrows those elements, like you get to level up your skills and stuff. But they also borrows some from like Rainbow Six Vegas, where you have to duck behind cover with LT, and and just not get shot like crazy, since you could die pretty easily in the game. But What's so amazing about the game, it gets cyberpunk right, and I love cyberpunk worlds. They just have I love the dark, ominous like feel of cyberpunk. I think Deus Ex really captures that. The story is pretty good, and the gameplay is really fun. There's so many ways to do just one mission. You'd actually be pretty surprised. There's some stuff I'm like, I had no idea you could do that. Like, trust me, it'll blow your mind the things that you could do to just accomplish one mission. And overall, like, just a great game. Like, the only problem for me was like graphics weren't like the best, but it's not biggest deal to me. It might matter to you, and also the fact that some of your parts are a bit worthless. Like Fortify, I felt was pretty weak, was worthless skill to use for hacking. But and maybe voice acting wasn't the best, but overall it was just a really fun game. You should definitely get it. And the last game on the list, but not least, is Lost Odyssey. And what I love about Lost Odyssey, it just feels like Final Fantasy because it's made by the creator of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi. But I mean, it's just great when you have Final Fantasy 13, which doesn't play like a Final Fantasy game. Neither did Final Fantasy 12, and just left me a bit disappointed. But like Lost Odyssey just pretty much regained my hope. Like yes, there are still games like this. Like it's turn based, story's linear, and this might piss people off. Like, oh, I don't want to play a game that's linear and just has turn based combat. But I don't know why people feel that turn based combat's like a step back. It's just a combat system. People have been using action combat since pretty much the beginning of gaming, and no one ever says, "Oh, this game uses action combat. That's so old and archaic." It's just a battle system, and I felt that this battle system was great. Not as good as Final Fantasy X, but not below by that much. Just like a tiny bit, slightly. And the story in this game is amazing. It's linear, but it's amazing. You'll want to just once it warms up. It takes a while to warm up, but once it does, you don't want it to end. You just want to know more and more and more. And there's even these like story sections of the game, whereas they were just like reading a mini story. There's no voices talking over the book and stuff, and it is a bit long, and it does get annoying. Like in the beginning, but once you do get used to it, you'll just love every single one of them. Well, at least I loved every single one of them. Some of these stories are really interesting. The graphics are also really good. I love the vistas in the game that you get to see. They look beautiful. For a 2008 game, they look amazing. Like some parts are pretty bad. Like the loading times do take a hit. It'll take a while, and if you don't have enough room to install on your Xbox, it can get pretty annoying after a while. But I can't really complain about this game because I absolutely love the Final Fantasy games and Hironobu Sakaguchi just pretty much in general. So I might be biased with this game, but I thought it was an amazing game. I thought it was underrated. I thought the reviews were just hating on it because it didn't like crazy innovate in a lot of ways. But I'd say like if the like right now they're not even that many turn-based RPGs, so like this game is actually kind of a rarity now. Like before in the PS2 era, people used to complain how so many games had turn-based elements. It got really annoying, but now in this generation, almost all the games are going for an action feel, and having just a good old turn-based RPG with a great story, great cast of characters is actually kind of rare nowadays. And this game has some really deep concepts like living forever. And if I were you, and just try getting this game. This game is relatively cheap. I believe I bought this for $20. So yeah, if you could cop up $20, and if you really feeling like a game that you played in old PS1 era, or just if you love Final Fantasy games, you should definitely check out Lost Odyssey. So yeah, those are my recommended RPGs for the 360. And if you're wondering like why are some of your favorites missing, it's most likely I haven't played it, or maybe it just wasn't my type of game. Like I know I still have to play Tales of Vesperia. I still want to play Sacred 2. Still want to play Star Ocean. The A New Hope, A Last Hope, I believe, and Near, and I think that's about it. So I'm sorry if I forget any or if something's not mentioned. If there's another RPG you want to recommend, doesn't matter what console, you can still tell me. I still own a PS3, a Wii. I still own PS2, GameCube. The only thing I really don't own is pretty much an Xbox One and a PlayStation One, but it's alright. I already have a PS2 anyway. So if there's any like RPGs you'd like to recommend, then tell me. Go ahead. Tell me in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought about this video. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell me why I could improve on it. Just don't be like a jerk about it. And thanks for watching this video, man. It means a lot to me. And peace out.